Hi, welcome back. We're going to go through page 8 now. On question 9 we've got a cube and it says find the volume of the cube in cubic meters. Okay, so this is already in meters, this length, and we know all the lengths are going to be the same. So the volume of the cube is the length times the width times the height. So 2 times 2 times 2, and that is 8 cubic meters. Find the volume in cubic centimeters. So the easiest way to do this, rather than just know the scale factor, which is what this question is kind of trying to get us to discover, is to just write down this length in centimeters. So we know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So this cube is 200 centimeters by 200 centimeters by 200 centimeters. And 200 cubed, or 200 times 200 times 200, come on computer, will give us, so if we do the 2 times 2 times 2 first, that will give us 8, and then we've got 6 zeros to add on. So 8 million cubic centimeters. So 1 cubic meter is 1 million cubic centimeters. If you think about how big a cubic meter is, that makes complete sense. If you sort of widen your arm span a fair amount, it's about a meter, and then that wide by that high by that deep is quite a large space. Okay, complete the following: 6.5 cubic meters, that will be 6.5 million cubic centimeters, so 6,500,000. Oh, sorry, I forgot to fill this in. So we're dividing by a million to turn cubic centimeters into cubic meters. We're timesing by a million to go the other way. Okay, so if I divide this by a million, there's only 6 digits there. So they're all 6 of those digits are going to go behind the decimal point. So this is going to be 0.325 cubic meters. If I times this by a million, the 6 is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it's going to be 600 cubic centimeters. Number 11, 1 cubic centimeter is 1 milliliter. They've given us that conversion. And just going back to 1 cubic meter, so imagine your cube a meter wide by a meter high by a meter deep. You can fit 1,000 litres into that space, so that's quite a handy conversion. So 1 cubic meter is 1,000 litres, or 1,000,000 millilitres, and it would also weigh exactly 1 metric ton. So some useful things to know there. Right, 1,000 cubic centimetres will be 1,000 millilitres, which is 1 litre. 2.5 litres, so to go back from litres to cubic centimetres, I want to turn it into millilitres first, so that's 2,500 millilitres, so therefore 2,500 cubic centimetres. 10,000 litres, turning it into cubic meters, so that's 10 million millilitres, which is 10 million cubic centimetres. Run out of room. Which is 10 cubic meters. Okay, number 12. A tiler wants to tile a rectangular wall which measures 4 meters by 2.5 meters. Each tile measures 16 centimeters by 10 centimeters. How many tiles will be needed for the wall? Now, most of the time on these questions, the tiles will completely fill up the wall with no extra tile left over or any gap left over. Okay, so to just check that, just make sure that 10 centimeters goes into the height of the wall, 2.5 meters, yes it does, and 16 centimeters does go into 4 meters, so that'll be 400 meters. Just do a quick division, 400 divided by 16, yes it goes in exactly. Okay, so there's not going to be any leftover space. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this question. So method 1, if the tiles will fill up the wall completely, which they will, we're going to find the area of the wall, and we're going to divide that by the area of the tile. Come on, Ben. And that'll tell us how many tiles we need. So the area of the wall, now the important thing is we need to do this in the same unit. So I'm going to do this in centimetres. So we need to just convert these to centimetres first. That's 250 centimetres. This one's 400 centimetres. So the area of the wall in square centimetres, if I do 250 times 400, is 100,000 square centimetres. And the area of a tile is 10 times 16, so 160 square centimetres. And when I do that division, we get 625. Okay, so that's method one. Method two can sometimes be quicker, and I do emphasise it's only sometimes, and possibly not with this question. But it might just be easier to work out how many rows of tiles we can have and how many will be in each row. So if they're 10 centimetres high and the whole height of the wall is 250 centimetres, then I know we will be able to fit 25 tiles vertically. Okay, and if they are 16 centimetres wide and the whole width of the wall is 400 centimetres, do 400 divided by 16, we can fit 25 tiles as well, horizontally. So this is another way to work out how many tiles we're going to need. So we do 25 times 25, and that also gives us 625 tiles. Number 13. A carpet fitter is laying carpet tiles on a rectangular floor which measures 7.5 metres by 4.5 metres. Each carpet tile measures 50 by 50 centimetres. How many will he need for the floor? So I'm actually going to go straight to method 2 for this one, because I think in this case I would definitely use method 2 first off, because 50 centimetres to fit into these, to figure out how many you're going to need width-wise and length-wise, very easy. So how many 50s go into 750? Well, 2 will go into 100, so 14 will go into 700, so 15 will go into 750. So I've got 15 tiles that way. How many will go into 450 centimetres? That'll be 9. So I'm going to need 15 times 9 tiles. That'll be 135. Okay, we're using method 1 from above. The overall area of the floor in this case, is 450 times 750, which is 337,500. The overall area of one tile is 50 times 50, so 2,500. And when we do that division, just double check, yeah, we get 135 as well. I personally think this last method was easier for that one.